Hi there, it's Keith Griggs here, and I just wanted to show you a few ways how you can buy property below market value. Now, this is a really important skill to master because if you can do this, you can make fast money by flipping properties, and also you can buy properties below market value, then at some point remortgage them and get most or all of your deposit back. So, which will give you obviously then long-term wealth as the property accumulates over time. So, and there's several ways you can do this. So I'll go through a few of them in this video. So, number one is to buy unmortgageable properties. These are properties that you can fix up and then mortgage or sell on to someone with a mortgage. Now, the advantage of this obviously is that if a property is unmortgageable, then it excludes the vast percentage of the of potential buyers, because most buyers need a mortgage to buy. So it means it can only sell to cash buyers, which is a very small amount of people. So they would have to give a big discount to sell properties like this. Now, if you don't have a mortgage, if you can't get a mortgage for this, then obviously you will need cash to buy it. Now, maybe you do have some cash. Maybe you can refinance your own property or another property, or sell some investments, or sell a pension or something like that, or get some cash together, and then that's perfect, because then you can use this cash to buy as many properties like this as you can. If you don't have cash, you can obviously get a joint venture partner, someone who does have some cash and who doesn't necessarily have the skill or time to do this. So then you can team up with them, either pay them a fixed percentage for borrowing their cash, or you can set up a limited company with them just for this project and split the profit however you decide, and then just give them their money back with some interest and maybe some share of the profit you make from this. Another great way of doing this is bridging plus deposit. So obviously you would need to bring your own deposit using either cash or joint venture cash, and bridging, I think you can often get, say, 70% of the value of an unmortgageable property. So this gives you a great way of leveraging what cash you do have and doing bigger and bigger projects, which would then give the opportunity to make more and more money. Then obviously once you buy the property, you can fix it up, make it mortgageable, then you can sell at normal market value, or you can keep, remortgage and keep. So some problems you can fix to make it mortgageable, like add a bathroom, add a kitchen, or fix some structural problem, which are often not as hard as people think, but obviously you need to know what you're doing and have a plan in advance. Some problems, unmortgageable problems, are not possible. For instance, if it's the top of a tower block, you'll probably find that would not be mortgageable, and obviously you can't fix it. So just bear in mind what sort of problem it is and how much it will cost to fix. So there are two broad categories where you can get property below market value. So the one I've spoken about is if the property is unmortgageable, then it obviously has to be below market value, because no one would pay market value for a property if you can't mortgage it. The second category is just where there's nothing wrong particularly with the property, but the seller is motivated sellers to sell quickly. So there's many different scenarios for this. Maybe they're living with a partner that they can't stand and they just want to sell up and divorce and go their separate ways as soon as possible. Or maybe they want to emigrate, maybe they want to move to another part of the country for a job or something, or maybe they have financial issues, or they just need some cash to liquidate some cash as soon as possible. So any of these reasons, and a lot more reasons why they might be motivated. So, and then they're willing to accept a discount, because the normal way of selling at full market value can take months, and they could end up in a chain, and it could all fall through and have to start again. So they're willing to accept a discount, sometimes a large discount, because of the speed and certainty if you're able to buy quickly. So how do you find these deals? So I'm now just going to go a few different ways you can do it. Now, agents is the obvious place to start, because the vast majority of properties are sold through agents. So you could just go to the agent and ask, do you have any old ugly properties that are hard to sell? Or you can ask, do you have any properties where the seller is motivated to sell really quickly? And you can also ask if they've got any unmortgageable properties that are easy to fix. So if they're unmortgageable, obviously, then you, as before, you need to buy with cash, bridging finance, and fixed problem, and then sell or remortgage. Or if they want to sell quickly, it's the same thing. You might be able to get a mortgage quickly, or if you can use cash or bridging finance, then you can get in really quickly, and then you can get a further discount for that. So another thing you can do is just go to the agent and just make a lot of very low, cheeky offers. The vast majority will be rejected, but out of hand. But quite often the seller might be, if they are motivated to sell quickly, they might make a counter offer, and then you could have some negotiation and get a property at a very cheap price that way. That will also, it's sort of win-win, because it will also, the seller will benefit because they get to sell quickly. So another way of finding these properties and motivated sellers is by using leaflets. Now the advantage of this is that the person who wants to sell may hate the idea of selling through an agent. They might think, maybe they've had problems before, maybe they've been in a chain, fallen through, etc., and they just want to be rid of the property. Maybe cash isn't the biggest issue for them, maybe they have a bit of cash, they just want to sell easily and quickly, and they don't really know what to do, they're a bit loath to go to the agent, and suddenly they get a letter through their letterbox saying, would you like to sell your house quickly? I can help, or something like that. And then they phone you, and then you can negotiate a purchase at below market value. So obviously, first of all, you need to get lots of leaflets printed. Now, the easiest way to deliver them is to contact the post office, who have a service where they deliver leaflets. So you probably, like me, get loads of leaflets delivered with your post. This is very easy to set up. It's a little bit, if you're doing it a lot, it is a bit more expensive way of doing it. A cheaper way is to hire private deliverers. Just put an ad in the paper, and I did this, and just interview a few people, and you get a whole variety of people. I remember one guy that came had a bad back, so he just wanted to do a lot of walking, and then there are other people who just want to have like a part-time job, just want to earn a bit of cash relatively quickly. And then what I did was I just got a local map, like a little A to Z map of my local town, and I photocopied one page and gave it to a deliverer and said, just deliver to all the streets on this page in the map. And I gave them, I think, half the money at the beginning, half at the end, just as a test. And then what I found was, I think I had 5 or 6 people who I did this. I gave them a page each. From about 4 or 5 pages, I got lots of calls from the people, and from one page of the map, one deliverer, I didn't get any calls, so I knew that deliverer did not deliver any leaflets. So obviously I didn't, you know, I lost some money paying him for work he didn't do, but on the other hand, overall, this was cheaper than going the post office route, because there's no middleman in the post office, so you pay them a cheaper rate to do this. And most people I found are incredibly reliable. I know some people work with trackers and stuff like that, so they can see, oh, this deliverer is going around this part of the map at the moment, but I don't bother with all that. I think at the end of the day, if you know they're doing it properly, because you're going to get calls. Also, I tell you, there are agencies that do this. If you search on Google, you say, oh, we will deliver your leaflets for you, we are extremely good, extremely reliable, etc. I tried one of those and I didn't get any calls, so they basically took my money and didn't deliver any leaflets. So you can try them if you like. Maybe you'll be lucky and find a good one, but I think either of these two ways are better, the post office or the private deliverers. If you're starting off, I'd try the post office, because it's just a lot easier to set up. But if you scale up and do more and more, you'll probably want to go the private deliverers route. It is a numbers game. You might have to deliver a lot of leaflets, but it works. I've done it. I've bought a property this way at a big discount, and so it's highly recommended. So another way you can find properties like this is by advertising on the internet. There's two main ways. Google Adwords, where you advertise on a keyword such as sell house. So someone who's trying to sell their house might Google sell house or a phrase like that, and then they see your ad, they click on it, and then you pay so much a click, and then they go to your website that you've set up and see your pitch, you know, how great you are, how you can buy a house quickly for a discount, and just asking them to phone you up or email you. So that's one way of doing it, and another is to try something like Facebook, where instead of advertising on a particular keyword, you do it on a demographic. Now this is a lot more hit and miss, and you have to advertise to a lot more people, because it's a lot harder to find people who are actually trying to sell their property. But the advantage of Facebook ads is the cost per click is a lot cheaper than Google ads, so you could try both methods and see what works. So with Facebook ads, you have to try and guess the sort of demographic of people who might want to sell quickly. Now I've just guessed here, people who are 50 plus divorced. That's a complete guess, but obviously someone who's 20 probably won't have a property for a start, and they will not be thinking of selling it, so probably older is more likely. And also you can also target people who are in Facebook groups or interested in Facebook pages that are talking about relocating or buying new properties and doing them up, that sort of thing. Another place you could try is newspaper ads. Now I think about 10-20 years ago this was a much bigger thing, and you'd often see lots of ads in these papers, and I've done it myself, and I have got some really good leads from newspaper ads. But I think now with the advent over the internet, these scales are changing, and far fewer people actually look at newspapers anymore. So you can try this, but I think it's certainly less effective than it has been. But it's definitely worth a try, and comparing against the costs of buying leaflets and stuff like that. Another thing you try is local community magazines. Every now and then I get a little magazine from the community or the church or something like that, and you often find people are, it's much smaller scale, but you often find the sort of people that might want to sell their house quickly might actually have the time to sit down and read these magazines and look at the ads, and it does create, people are more likely to trust and any ads in those magazines rather than just something they find on the internet or some sort of leaflet they get through their door. So I know people who have got really good deals through doing that. And I think you could do shop windows, the same sort of thing applies. So maybe a small number of people will see them, but it's a numbers game. You just have to put them up in lots of shops. And people like this, like low budget, community type approach, because they just feel like they're interacting with a real person rather than some big corporation or something like that. So good luck. You can do this. If you've found value in this video, I'd really be grateful if you could like, comment and or share. So it really helps me and also helps get the word out. Also, what I really recommend is to go to my website, keithgriggsproperty.com. You can get in touch with me there. You can also, if you go to this page, keithgriggsproperty.com/BMV, then you can also get a PDF version, an ebook version of this talk with a transcript and a mind map as well. So go to my website, get in touch, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All the best. Bye.